What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's review is going to be filmed a little bit different simply because I didn't think I was going to do a review on this business trip, so I then took my tripod and all of the fancy equipment that I'm normally using. So let me tell you a little bit about today's vehicle. I am here in Charleston, South Carolina on a business trip, and normally when I go on the business trip, I either order a small SUV like a compact SUV, or I opt in for a lot of agencies call a surprise vehicle, and those are usually trucks or cars that they can't rent because they're not very popular. They just have too many of them, and I guess in Charleston this was it. So you can see in the back, when I got to the rental car counter, the lady at the counter goes like, "Hey, the winner of today's car surprise lottery is 2023 Ram 1500. And then I got to the parking lot and I saw this. And I looked at it and I go like, there's no way this is 2023. I've reviewed 2023 Rams and they look completely different, different lights, different body style, different rims and everything. And then I looked on the side of it and it says that it is Ram 1500 Classic right here. So I did some research. Of course, I went on the website, and of course this is 2023. Plus it also says that this vehicle was manufactured in 11 of 2022. It's right here, build date 11/2022, so it has to be 2023 model year. So let's talk about this vehicle for a little bit here. Well, first of all, they call it classic because it looks classic. It looks like the one that was introduced back in 2009, which is the 4th generation of Rams, and they were discontinued for a while, or so we thought. Then Ram resurrected them, brought them back, reheated them in the microwave, and put them back on the market. I guess they had too many parts or body panels, or whatever the case may be. But they actually have two models for this year that are classic. They have the Tradesman, which is the base one, and that seems like a great value because it starts right around $30,000. And then they have this, which is the highest trim level. They call it the Warlock. So when you look at the Warlock on the outside, on the exterior, you can see that it does have a black decal on the hood. It's all blacked out right in the front, kind of mimicking that Rebel look for Ram. You have the Ram spelled out. You also have this metal bumper, the matte black trimming around here, halogen lights with the LED daytime running lights slash turn signals, with nothing too crazy about it. Then before we get to the side, let's actually pop this hood open. Let's see what powers up this thing. So here it is, guys. Surprise, surprise. What powers up this thing is a 3.6 liter V6 engine, 305 horsepower, 269 foot-pounds of torque. Surprisingly, it's not bad. I've driven this vehicle for the last few days. It's not the speed demon, but it's not bad either. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Nothing else to look at here. It's kind of dirty because it is a rental. The hood is propped up by the hood struts on both sides. It does have some sound insulation underneath here. And this is the engine part. And as we move around the corner, you can see that this classic design, or this outdated, I should say, design continues on the vehicle. Now this is 229 inches long, the only bed and cab configuration that you can get on the Warlock for this year. So this is a quad cab with a 5.7 foot bed right here. Now the Warlock also comes with a 20-inch rims covered in this satin black color. They're 275 by 60 as far as the tires. You have the matte black cladding, matte black Ram 1500 Classic Series, also the black mirrors and the door handles. Let's take a peek inside of this bed right here, so you can see that it does have the bed liner that comes standard from the factory. The bed opens up, of course, manually. Nothing too crazy about it. I don't see any outlets or anything that you can find useful in here. Not a very heavy bed. And in the back you can see the rear view camera, Ram logo. Now this is a 4x4. I didn't see the 4x4 switch on the inside of this truck. And you also have the 4 and 7 pin connector. What's interesting, on the website that says that it can tow up to 10,470 pounds when equipped properly. And I would imagine this is the 4-wheel drive with a 5.7 liter engine, but the towing capacity starts at about 5,500 pounds. Now this is a metal bumper right here. No steps on the side, but there's a step on the bumper itself. Well, let's actually go inside the back seat And of course, before we jump inside, let's take a look at this door panel right here. It's all hard plastic. This is all basic truck stuff. You have a little bit of color right here with this simulated polished aluminum trim, door handle, of course, window controls, a little bit of storage right down here, as well as at the bottom of this door handle. Now, if you look at the seats, nothing too crazy. They're actually on the tougher side a little bit, and I'm going to jump in and show you how much room we have. But there are 2 loops, and let's see, or 3 loops actually, and see what they do. Can we unlock it? Maybe, but it doesn't want to do it for me. And can we move this up? Yeah. All right, so you can lift these seats up, and it's going to create more room right underneath it. You can put some stuff. You also have the cup holders right in here in the middle console. You have your vents without the ability to control them. And in the seat backs right here, you also have the seat back pockets. There's some illumination right on top. Now let me jump inside and see how much room I'll have. Of course, you have the grab handle because it'll be a lot easier to get in. As you can see, I have enough knee room right here. My feet are inside those footwells right here. I do have enough headroom, so there's no complaints as far as the roominess. Comfort, on the other hand, is another story. But let's jump inside the front seat and let's see where the magic happens. So, all right, let's listen to the sound of the closing door right here. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. And the front door panel, basically matching the rear. Nothing too crazy about it. You have the window mirror lock controls, door handles, the same storage compartments in here. And on the left-hand side, on the steering wheel, you have your lights control, your dimmer, and your illumination for the inside. Now, the seats are manually adjusted. Again, not super comfortable. This is one complaint that I would have for it. And this steering wheel has the tilt, but not the telescoping feature on this. So let me jump inside. I'll show you the interior. So here we are on the interior of this 1500 series Classic Ram, and let's take a look and see what we have, starting with the dashboard right here. This is all hard plastic. This is a base trim level, so we're not really expecting a whole lot out of it. Like I mentioned before, the steering wheel is adjustable, but it only has the tilt. It doesn't have the telescoping functions on here. And as you can see, it does have a few buttons on each side. So this is gear minus, gear plus. I guess this is your pedal shifters essentially, and you have the cruise control settings. You can resume, set, on and off, and cancel on the cruise control. And on the left hand side, you have the phone button. You also have the ability to pick some features on the screen in the middle here, and I'll show you that in a minute. And let's take a look at this instrument cluster. So the instrument cluster on this Ram 1500 actually doesn't look bad. Let's take a quick peek and let's see what we have. So on the right hand side, you have the speedometer right here, as well as the fuel gauge. You have the temperature gauge, battery gauge, and I gotta tell you something about this battery. I already had to jump start it twice for some reason. There's an issue with this truck, but the battery seems like it's holding the charge. No lights left on, and it's draining the battery. So this is your oil temperature, this is your coolant temperature, this is your tachometer on the left hand side. And then see right there in the middle right here, you have the ability to see what else is available. So this is your audio, trip B, trip A, fuel economy. Let's see, so 16.7 average miles per gallon. It's actually not bad, as I've been doing like mixed driving. And here's the vehicle info, and now we can also go left to right: oil life, oil temperature, trans temperature, tire pressure, engine hours, idling, driving, etc. And then we're back to the summary right here. Speed, this is the setting that I have set up for me right now. Now this vehicle has got 11,000 miles. It is a rental, and you can see it's a fairly base one. Well, the Warlock, I guess it's not a base one, but must be in park for screen setup. So I didn't realize I was in drive, so this is good. Press to enter screen setup, and we're waiting. Okay. So, on this little screen, it actually gives you the option of what's going to be displayed in the upper left. Outside temperature, you can select it between compass, settings saved, etc. So you can actually select of what and how it's going to be displayed. we don't need to do that right now. Let's actually move on to the infotainment system. So the infotainment system on the Warlock is the upgraded infotainment system on this series right here. So let's see what we have. So what we have, first of all, this is the 8.4-inch screen. And the coolest feature to me about this infotainment system, that is the newest Uconnect 5, and it does have the wireless Android Auto, which you can see on this screen right now. And we can go back to this RAM system and kind of explore and what it has. So similar features like we've seen on the other Chrysler products. You have the home, you have media, then you have your comfort settings, which is basically your climate control, so it has the automatic climate control. You have the Android Auto right here. This is your vehicle settings, and you can select several different settings in here, which is really nice. Your camera, which we're going to check out next, phone, Bluetooth, mirrors, wipers. So there's actually quite a few settings that can be adjusted in this vehicle. Back you have the apps, so you have the AM radio, Android Auto, audio settings, etc., and you can choose that. Now as far as the radio, I mean, it's okay, it's kind of hollowy as far as the sound, but I can't expect too much of it. Now moving down below, you have your volume settings right here, as well as the mute button, tune, browser, enter, scroll, screen off, boom, back, hazard lights. Here is your fan control right here. Here's your temperature control. And then down here, you can see the traction off, tow haul off for the rear parking sensors. This is your shifter right here. This is definitely something that would require some getting used to. And this is how you shift it. Put it in reverse and take a look at the rear view camera. Now the rear view camera, I gotta tell you, I've seen a lot better quality on a lot of other rear view cameras. This is definitely very grainy, but it is there, so you can see what's going on behind you. There's no other settings on that rear view camera, so this is the only thing that you have. And like I mentioned before, I didn't see any of the controls for the four-wheel drive, and that's because I didn't have my glasses with me, because they are right here. So you can see this is four-wheel drive lock, four-wheel drive low, two-wheel drive, and put it in neutral. And right here at the bottom you have that 12-volt power outlet and drawer right here for the extra storage. And on the other side you have that USB connector. This is the USB type A, and you can have a little cubby right there. Now there's two glove boxes, one on top and one at the bottom here. Can't even reach this, how big this truck is. And you have this huge console right there, so you can put some stuff in here. Two USB type A ports and 3 cup holders. Well, why would you need 3 cup holders? Well, because you have 3 passengers in the front. But what if you do this? Boom, you can have the third passenger right here. But what happens to the cup holders then? The cup holders spill all your drinks because they're adjusted. But this is a typical, like a work truck setup, which you can have 3 passengers in, or 2 passengers and the driver in the front. So if you're going to the job site, you can definitely take advantage of it. Now there's no sunroof on this particular one, and there's really nothing else to see as far as this top console right here. So now it's time to actually take it for a spin. You ready? Let's go. Well, it's time to take it on the road, but before we do that, I want to take a quick peek on the Ram Trucks website to see how much is it. So is it even worth considering this truck? So when you look at 2023 Ram, the 2023 Ram 1500 Classic says it starts at $30,695. So it's about $6,000 difference between the newer looking, the newer generation Ram and this. That seems like a deal, right? Now let's take a look in detail of what it is. So first of all, the 1500 Classic, this is the base one. You get, you know, the 7 or 5 inch screen here. When you go to the Classic Warlock, and we're gonna go build it right now. So let's see trims that are available. So the Tradesman starts at $30,695 and the Warlock's at $41,985. So boom, you got $11,000 difference. Once you start building the Warlock and equip it with the way that I have it here, and you know, this is a rental, right? So they don't really have a whole lot of equipment, but we have the 3.6 liter engine, right? If you wanted to add the 5.7 Hemi, that would be another $2,500. Standard 8-speed automatic transmission. We have the Class 4 receiver hitch, so that's $445. I hope I don't have a 32-gallon tank to fill up. You know, we have the Warlock package right here, so that the core package, so that's the hood decal, Warlock decal. We're gonna add that, and as well that I add the Class receiver hitch. Yep. So right now we're at $44,720. Now I believe this one comes with the all-wheel drive system. It doesn't even come with a push-button start. You still have this base key fob right here that you have to put and turn. How much work is that? Well, anyways, so you don't have that. It doesn't seem like we have anything else. So anyway, so the net price on here, it is now at $44,720 plus destination. Is it worth it? I guess it depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if you're looking for a base work truck, then I would definitely recommend going with like the Tradesman, the cheapest trim at $30,000. You can't be beat. It's way cheaper. It's actually as cheap as some of the small or compact pickup trucks. But if you're looking to add some fancy equipment to it, I don't think I would like to have this design on the outside and, you know, this cheap plastics all around, you know, and still spend $50,000. I think I would go, you know, for something else, maybe the regular 1500 series, maybe even going for a different competitor. So let's take it on the road. One thing that I gotta tell you, it does have this commanding view of the road, like a lot of people mentioned that, but in this case it's true. It's got this huge windshield. The mirror size is very good. I like that mirror size. The view in the back, if there's nobody sitting there, it's clear. There's nothing to complain about. And then overall, it is very spacious vehicle. So as far as the pickup, I mean, this is not the quickest thing out there, definitely, but you definitely have enough guts to merge into traffic on the expressway. Yes, it's gonna be noisy. Yes, it's not gonna be the most comfortable one. And now we're going on this unpaved parking lot right here. Yep, it is a truck. You can definitely feel that body on frame design. It actually does have the independent, the multi-link suspension in the back, so it's not too bad. It is definitely on the stiffer side, and you know, it's a pickup truck, so what else do you want? So the question, is it worth it? It's very subjective and it's very individual. Some people actually might like the design of this Classic better than the design of the new one. I'm not one of them, but again, I'm not looking to buy a pickup truck anytime soon. Overall, it is not a bad driving vehicle. Like I said, I've had it for a couple days and I was able to get to where I'm going. The only issue that I had with it, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if it has something to do with their GPS device that's installed on this truck, but it actually drains the battery and I had to have it jump started, which is not the ideal thing when you have a rental car. And it is rather large trucks. If you haven't driven a pickup truck this size before, then definitely go for a test drive. Make sure that you know how to maneuver it, especially in the narrower streets or getting into the parking space. I found it adequate. It's not a very intimidating vehicle. Like, I think I did the 2500. This monster was actually huge, and yes, for everyday driving it could be something that could be a little tiring, but this one is not. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you do, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that little bell notification button as I post content twice a week. I'll see you in my next one. Cheers.